Crystal Cave was found way back in 1918, although this area had already been part of Sequoia National Park for about 30 years. Really right away, the park superintendent at the time, Walter Fry, realized that the cave would be a great place for tours, for commercial operations, for the public to have a chance and come see a park cave. But because of the remote location of the cave and the distance from anything, construction here was very difficult. And in fact, construction was put off for about 20 years. And then when we had the Civilian Conservation Corps in the park, those folks were the ones who actually did most of the work here to commercialize the cave. And the initial power plant for the cave that originally powered the lights was actually installed inside of Crystal Cave, in just a few feet from what we call the back entrances. And that was the original power source came from.
Well, it's pretty interesting. I've seen the Crystal Cave operation go from a diesel generator down near the cave where it was really loud and very smelly to a propane generator, which we thought was moving up in the world, and now to this PV system to where you can now walk down the trail and listen to the birds and hear them without hearing this generator noise in the background.
It did have a muffler on it, but it was quite loud. It was constant background noise. Anytime you needed power here, that unit had to be running.
Turning that generator off at night was like a big relief. It was quiet, it was natural, it was the park again. And what we have here today completely replaces this long history of generators that have been used to power Crystal Cave. We're really moving into a completely different type of power generation.
It's also cutting down on our energy costs. We feel there's going to be a significant cost reduction just in the amount of propane that we are using. About 10 to 12 times a year, a 1,000-gallon propane tank was being filled just to operate this system, a 9-hour operating system. The price of energy, especially those associated with any type of fossil fuels, gasoline, diesel, propane, those sort of costs, those commodities are not going down. They're only going up. And so to get away from having to be dependent upon that and dependent on something that's natural, that's already here, is incredible.
We did a bunch of work inside of the cave itself to prepare for the installation of this solar system. We did work to reduce the load, to reduce the amount of electricity needed inside the cave.
Basically converted all the lighting in the cave, which had been incandescent lighting, to LED lights. LED lights are far more efficient than incandescent, so we're using a lot less power now than we were before.
Here we have one of the LED lights that we're putting inside a Crystal Cave. This one is a 60 LED array. This particular version comes in a wide variety of colors, and these are even available commercially for your home. On this one, the light-emitting diodes are very close together and arranged flat on a little circuit board inside this light. This bulb is also one of the ones that produces the particular color, the very warm orange color, that we'd like to have in the cave because it reduces plant growth. Well, right here we have exactly what we're trying to avoid. This is some moss. It's very common to find it near the lights in the cave, along with things like grass and algae and other types of plants. These things are completely unnatural in the cave environment. Plants, of course, must have light to live. Naturally in the cave there's no light, so naturally in the cave there are no plants. So when we put these lights inside the cave, we're hoping to really reduce the amount of plant growth, to make an environment that discourages those plants from growing.
So we're harnessing the energy of the sun. We are reducing our greenhouse gas emissions. We're improving our air quality in a park that has severe air quality issues.
Our mission in the national parks is to protect and conserve natural resources, and this really fits in with that and is a great educational opportunity.
This will be really positive when it comes to the visitors coming in and seeing a PV system powering the lights here in the cave. I think it's a story in itself. We want to be an example to other people, and we want them to take it out, and we want them to use that information and share it with others and take action.
That's very much needed right now. So I think we need to find as many alternative sources of energy as possible.
I think it's great they put in the solar power just to preserve the natural resources. That's what the national park is all about, is preserving our resources so that our kids and our kids' kids will still have this beautiful park.
Project funded by the Sierra Nevada Conservancy, an agency of the state of California, the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, the National Park Service, the Sequoia National History Association, and the Bank of the Sierra.